Well, hello and welcome to Game Faces coverage of the Division 1 A-grade preliminary final here in the Outer East between Pakenham and Warburton Millgrove. Live and exclusive to the local footy hub. I'm Adam Miller taking you through all of today's action on a beautiful sunny day here at the Yarra Junction Memorial Reserve. We are back here again for another weekend of live action here in the Outer East. Of course, today's preliminary final played between Pakenham and Warburton Millgrove. The last time these two sides played was just 2 weeks ago at the Yarra Glen Showgrounds. Pakenham winning that game. They progressed through to the second semi-final but lost to Seville last week and once again do face the Kookaburras for the other place in the grand final to take on Seville next week. So currently the ledger stands at 2-1 the way of Pakenham. Warburton Millgrove got the win in the early part of the season by 18 goals, 54-36. Pakenham have won the last two affairs though by 8 goals and 6 goals respectively, and they'll be taking plenty of confidence from those two performances to try and take that place in the grand final though. This Warburton Millgrove side have won the last 3 premierships, so they'll definitely be taking plenty of confidence from that, and we'll want to make it 4 in a row for season 2024. But now take a look at the starting lineups for both of these sides. For Pakenham, Charlotte Hoodlin will start as goal shooter, Kelly Cousins as goal attack, Emma Jones back into the side as wing attack, Mia Arnberger will start in the centre, Millie Utper as wing defence, Eliza Molino will start as goal defence, and Caitlin Cook will start as goalkeeper. And on the interchange will be Charlize Reid, Amber Holt, Evie Drake, Tasha Curry and Hayley Melson. For Warburton Millgrove, Bianca Daniels will start as goal shooter, Carly Woppert as goal attack, Selena Fodia starts as wing attack, Jessie Hare as centre, Morgan White wing defence, Ali Langdon goal defence, Indy Pinnock as goalkeeper. And on the interchange will be Amanda Finn, Taylor McIntosh and Tegan Butcher. Don't forget as well, at 2:20pm we will have the footy which will also be played between Pakenham and Warburton Millgrove, which will be live to the local footy hub, and also Yarra Valley FM 99.1, another preliminary final, and that will also be for a place in the grand final, also against Seville. So things very much aligning in footy and netball here in Division 1 with only a couple of weeks left to go in the season in Outer East. Also available through the local footy hub will be the A-grade second semi-final today between Mount Evelyn and Wandon in Premier Division, and then Wandon versus Alinda Ferny Creek. Also plenty of action tomorrow as well here at Yarra Junction Memorial Reserve. We will have the first semi-finals in A-grade netball and senior footy in Premier Division between firstly Monbulk and Emerald, and then Wooriallic and Monbulk. So all of those games will be available through the local footy hub. So make sure you sign up and subscribe, because you'll get plenty of live action to look forward to, and most of those games will be commentated by myself, Trent Delton, Adam Brogdon. So looking forward to what should be another interesting clash here between Warburton Millgrove and Pakenham. The 4th time they'll face each other this season. High stakes it is, because it's for a place in the grand final. Loser stays alive. Sorry, winner stays alive, loser goes home, in fact. So it is high stakes, high pressure. And has to be said, conditions are absolutely perfect. Top of 21 degrees expected here today. Sun's currently out. Might be a little bit of cloud cover a bit later in the day, but really no excuses for either side. Conditions are just about perfect for netball. Warburton and Millgrove are currently ready and raring to go out on court, just waiting for Pakenham to make their way out, just taking in a bit of shade before they jump into the sun. But should be a really interesting clash here today. So once again, if you are just tuning in, we'll take a look at the starting lineups for both of these sides. For Pakenham, Charlotte Hoodlin will start as goal shooter, Kelly Cousins as goal attack, Emma Jones starts as wing attack, Mia Arnberger as centre, Millie Utper will start as wing defence, Eliza Molino goal defence, Caitlin Cook as goalkeeper. Then on the interchange will be Charlize Reid, Amber Holt, Evie Drake, Tasha Curry and Hayley Melson for Warburton Millgrove. It looks like there actually might be a swap here. Bianca Daniels will actually start as goal attack, Carly Woppert will line up as a goal shooter. Jessie Hare still in the centre, Selena Fodia will be wing attack, Morgan White wing defence, Ali Langdon goal defence, Indy Pinnock goalkeeper. Then on the interchange will be Amanda Finn, Taylor McIntosh and Tegan Butcher. So of course the last time these two sides played was just 2 weeks ago in the qualifying final, with Pakenham winning that game by 6 goals. 48-42 was the final score in that game, and they have won the last two because they did win the round 17 clash in the match of the round by 8 goals. 41-33 was the final score in that game. Warburton Millgrove did get the win earlier in the season in round out by quite a convincing margin. 18 goals, 54-36 was the final score in that game. Warby are, of course, coming off back-to-back premierships and want to make it 4 in a row, but they need to face this very strong Pakenham side who haven't won a premiership in a little while, and they'll be pretty hungry. And of course the winner will go through to play Seville next week. They'll also be very hungry. Did win a premiership back in 2022, but have lost their last 2 grand finals to Emerald in 2023, back when we had 3 divisions and it was Division 1 and Division 2. And then, of course, in that thrilling grand final that went to extra time last year too, this Warburton Millgrove side by 1 goal. Bianca Daniels pretty much scoring the match winner on the siren. So to say Seville are hungry would be quite an obvious statement, but we do look forward to what should be A thrilling game, hopefully here in the Division 1A Grade preliminary final. Scheduled start time is 12:20 p.m, so live action won't be too far away, I imagine, both sides. Just with one final address from the coaches before we do get things underway here at Yarra Junction Memorial Reserve. As Warburton and Millgrove now make their way out onto the court, and closely followed by their opponents in the Pakenham Lions. So high stakes here at Yarra Junction Memorial Reserve. It is the Division 1A Grade preliminary final between Pakenham and Warburton and Millgrove. Winner stays alive and goes through to the grand final. Loser goes home. So it's Warburton and Millgrove to the left-hand side of your screen. It's Pakenham to the right. It's Jesse Hare with the centre pass, and we are underway. And wasting no time into the hands of Selena Fodia. Warburton presented a good option. Retreats back to Indy Pinnock. Back into the hands of Jesse Hare. Daniels looks to go underground, but comes back to Fodia. Selena Fodia holds off, and this is going to be the big difference in the game if Warburton and Daniels can get a hold of Katie Cook and Eliza Molino, and Daniels is offline, and straight away Eliza Molino picks one off into the hands of Arne Berger. And comes back to Katie Cook, who wastes no time to find Molino. Molino gets some moving forward. Arnberger gets involved. She goes laterally to Utba. Jones back into the side. Here is Hudlin. Comes back to Arnberger. Been busy early. Arnberger. Just got a bit of contact from Jesse Hare. So Jones with a short feed. And now Pakenham have turned it over. So Warburton and Millgrove with an opportunity to counter-attack. Pinnock got it from Langdon. Goes short to Hare. Fires a long drive to McIntosh. McIntosh to Pinnock. Laterally to Hare. Looks up ahead and finds Daniels. Daniels thought about going over the top to Fodia. Decided against it. Retreats to Pinnock. She goes to McIntosh. Here is Fodia now. Good long drive into the hands of Woppett. Comes back to Jesse Hare. Here is Daniels. Jesse Hare. And this Pakenham defence making Warburton and Millgrove work overtime. Bianca Daniels lines up and gets the first goal of the preliminary final. And Warburton and Millgrove on the board. 1 goal to zip. So Arnberger with her first centre pass into the hands of Jones. Does it well. Arnberger, good work. Great finds Hudlin. Feeds to Cousins. And Cousins, this to square the ledge up. And eventually gets it to drop. And there we go. Scores a level in the preliminary final. 1 goal apiece. Early days. So Daniels. Short to Fodia. Knocked away by Molino, but given away contact. So Fodia, long drive, beautifully done to Woppett, comes back to Hare. That's a good feed, and Carly Woppett, cleverly done, looks away, and bit of a blind pass, but it works out to Bianca Daniels. She gets her second goal for the preliminary final. Once again, Warburton and Millgrove with that early 1 goal lead. Here is Cousins, waste no time, Hudlin with plenty of room to work with. Arnberger, and just a bit of contact there from Jesse Hare. And, oh no, Indy Pinnock probably didn't need to get a hand to it. Would have been instinctive, though. Comes back to Jones. Cousins. Backwards to Jones. Quickly onto Arnberger. Thought about going a bit longer to Hudlin, but goes short to Cousins. So Langdon Pinnock working overtime. Arnberger again is involved. Good feed, and here is Kelly Cousins. Won't line them up and finds Charlotte Hudlin, and this to level the scores, and she's got it. So Charlotte Hudlin with her first goal of the preliminary final. Scores level early days, 2 apiece. So Hare out wide to Daniels, back to Pinnock. Pinnock short to Fodia. Now Woppett, nicely gathered by Hare. So back into the hands of Woppett, laterally Fodia. All the way across, Arnberger gets a hand in, ball trickles out of play. Stays in the possession of Warburton and Millgrove. Carly Woppett will come back to Jesse Hare. And now Bianca Daniels. This again to get Warburton and Millgrove back in front. By that 1 goal margin, Bianca Daniels with her third goal for the preliminary final. 3 goals to 2. So again, Pakenham's turn to respond. Jones waits. Thought about Arnberger, but went short to Cousins. Good feed. Hudlin with front position. Langdon thought she'd picked it off, but the umpire had other ideas. So Kelly Cousins already 1 goal in the afternoon, make that 2. And again, scores a level in the preliminary final, 3 goals apiece. So brought forward for Fodia. Woppett with front spot. Got herself out the back, and that's a clever feed from Fodia. Bianca Daniels already got 3 goals, make it 4. And again, Warburton and Millgrove back in front. So the start of this game much better than the previous couple of affairs between these two sides. Cousins back to Molino, who then in turn goes back to Cousins. Cousins, Molino again is involved. Moves it forward, Hoodlin, Langdon, she pulled up for contact. Yes, she is. And it'll come back into the hands of Jones. Short to Cousins. Cousins and Jones.
Ellie, your ball!
Arnberger. Over the back to Hoodlin, but Kelly Cousins doesn't convert. Pinnock knocks it out of play. Going to stay with Pakenham. So 4 goals to 3 is the way of Warburton Millgrove, but in Pakenham's attacking end. So Cousins, back it comes. Nicely done to Arnberger. Retreats to Jones. Jones, nicely done. Arnberger has started this game well. Now Hoodlin hasn't really had a look at goal yet. Comes across to Kelly Cousins, who puts it away and again scores a level. So it's goal for goal in the preliminary final. Neither side can really break away just yet. Hare, Daniels. Back to Indy Pinnock, short to Hare. Little look away, goes back to Pinnock, and then she goes back to Hare. Woppett retreats. Cousins got a hand in. I think she's given away contact. So Selena Fodia with ball in hand for Warburton Millgrove. Thought about McIntosh, goes short and finds Hare. Fodia. Jesse Hare again involved, did well not to step offside. Molino got a hand in. Woppett eventually. No. So here's an opportunity for Pakenham on the counter-attack. Utba. Cook looks up ahead to Molino. Comes back to Utba though. Utba retreats to Cook. So Warbier boxed him in for the moment, but Cook's done well. Releases Arnberger. Now to Molino. Cross to Utba. Utba back to Molino. Oh, Daniels nearly picked it off. Couldn't quite complete the job. Utba. Short to Cousins. Cousins looks up ahead at Arnberger, and I think she's taken too long. So back to Indy Pinnock. Thought does go back to Langdon in the end. Looks up ahead to McIntosh, and that's where she'll go. McIntosh will go back to Pinnock. Good work rate from Indy Pinnock. McIntosh. Fodia was the short option, but she goes longer to Woppett. Comes back to Hare. Long drive and beautifully done. That's a good feed. And Carly Woppett with her first look at goal in the preliminary final puts it away. And again, Warburton Millgrove with the lead. 5 goals to 4. So Pakenham's chance to respond. Jones up against McIntosh did well. Back to Arnberger. Cousins eventually gets it under her control. Back to Arnberger. And Kelly Cousins. Beautifully done again. And she levels the scores. 5 goals apiece. Here, back to McIntosh. McIntosh, long drive, beautifully done. Knocked away by Cook, but just got a bit of a hand on Carly Woppett. So brought forward to Fodia. She finds Daniels. Bianca Daniels, cool as you like, slots it. And again, Warburton Millgrove with a 1 goal margin. 6 goals to 5. Just 1 goal separates the sides. Utba across to Molino. Long drive, beautifully done. Straight to Jones. Jones will go short to Hoodlin. Hoodlin back to Cousins. Cousins could go short. She'll come back to Jones. McIntosh just gave away contact. Hoodlin will get it over the back, and it's a turnover. So Warburton Millgrove with an opportunity to counter-attack. McIntosh to Langdon. Beautifully done. Across to Hare with plenty of room to work with. She'll go short to McIntosh. Looks up ahead. Back to Hare. Much longer this time to Fodia. Got up at the right time. Laterally to Jesse Hare. They've cut them open here, Warburton Millgrove. Done this quite well. This has been a problem for them the last couple of times they've played. McIntosh. Much more flow in this ball movement. Fodia. That has to be contact against Cook, and it is. Bit miffed by the decision, but it was there. Clever feed from Fodia to Daniels. Bianca Daniels for a bit of a break for Warburton Millgrove. Haven't seen one yet today for either side, but Eliza Molino steadfast in defence. Jesse Hare knocks it away, but it will stay with Pakenham. So they've done well, the Pakenham defence. Not allowing a 2-goal break for the Kookaburras. Molino across to Cook. Looks up ahead, doesn't like what she's got. She goes short to Molino, then back to Molino again. Arnberger did well, got up at the right time. Hare pulled up for contact, stepped offside anyway. Molino, beautifully done. Arnberger, Hoodlin.
Keep going, Ellie. Stay there.
So good counter-attacking play from Pakenham, and Kelly Cousins does not convert. Hoodlin thought she kept it in, but the umpire said no. Langdon to Pinnock. Out wide to Jessie Hare. Armberger did pretty well, but couldn't quite reel it in. So Warburton and Millgrove hold possession. Nearly picked off by Hoodlin. Comes back into the hands of Langdon from Pinnock. McIntosh. Hare. Good long drive. Beautifully done to Fodia. She goes long again into the hands of Woppett. Woppett comes back. McIntosh. Just a bit of contact there from Jones. Jones. Fodia. Woppett. Waits and waits. Armberger nearly got a hand in. Hare collected it though. All the way across to Fodia. Short to Woppett. Will she have a look? Yes, she will. Carly Woppett. And does not convert, but gets the rebound. Molino gets the hand in, but Woppett with a third attempted goal. And this time she puts it away. And we have a break for the first time in the preliminary final. Warburton Millgrove out to a 2-goal buffer. 5-7. So Pinnock. Hare. All the way back to Langdon. Now McIntosh. Fires a bullet to Fodia. Accepts it. Daniels. McIntosh. Beautifully done into the hands of Jessie Hare. Comes back to Daniels. Daniels. McIntosh. That's what this Pakenham defence do. They don't make it easy to move the ball, but Warburton Millgrove have found a way. Bianca Daniels to make it a 3-goal margin, and she's got it. 5-8. And Warburton Millgrove right up for this fight. Jones over the top, beautifully done to Arnberger. Pakenham need the next one, and they should be able to get it here through Cousins. And they do. Well done, Kelly Cousins. Gets the responding goal. Back to 2 goals the difference. Can they force a turnover now, the Lions? Get this game back on an even keel. Fodia. Hare fires a bullet, beautifully done to Woppett, all the way back to Pinnock. Nearly over her head, but she made it work. Daniels eventually gets it under her control. Could go short to Fodia. Eventually, that's what she does. Fodia. Underground, beautifully done. Bianca Daniels reclaims a 3-goal margin. 6-9 in the preliminary finals. We start to near quarter time. Jones, Cousins, Hoodlin, McIntosh. Oh, not quite. That would have been something quite special if she had pulled that off. Again, Taylor McIntosh.
Keep going.
Making Emma Jones work overtime. Can go short to Cousins. Decides against that for the moment. Comes laterally to Arnberger. Now Kelly Cousins. Important shot at goal this. And doesn't convert. And Ali Langdon gets the rebound. So Warburton and Millgrove again find themselves on the counter-attack. Here is Fodia. She comes across to Pinnock. Back to Fodia. Woppett with plenty of room to work with. Retreats to Pinnock. Pinnock can go short to Fodia. That's what she does. All the way across. Woppett will run onto it. Comes back into the hands of Jessie Hare. Thought about Daniels, but that's a brilliant feed. Carly Woppett puts it away. And there's a 4-goal margin now for Warburton and Millgrove. And suddenly just some early alarm bells for Pakenham. The Kookaburras with the early ascendancy in this game. McIntosh offloads. Finds Hare. Comes laterally to Pinnock. Back to Jessie Hare. Lightning fast ball movement. And to turn it over. Here's an opportunity for Pakenham to go back the other way. Need to convert off of this. Molino gets it moving. Finds Arnberg. Jones spilled it. Now Warburton and Millgrove again on the counter-attack. Fodia comes back to Pinnock. Pinnock short to Daniels. She goes back to McIntosh. McIntosh. Fodia again is involved. Over the top to Woppett. Fodia. Short feed. Daniels. Well done. Protects the space. This to make it a 5-goal difference. And Bianca Daniels puts it away. 11-6. So Warburton and Millgrove with a very handy margin early days. Cousins in fact. Hoodlin. And Pakenham need this desperately. And Charlotte Hoodlin provides it. They get one back. How can they force a turnover here, the Lions? They're such a good team defensively. And they need to find a couple of goals and string them together. Pinnock, Hare. Waste no time to Fodia. Fodia back to Pinnock. Could go laterally, and she does to McIntosh. McIntosh with a bullet to Fodia. Pinnock over the top, beautifully done to Selena Fodia. Offloads to Woppett. Back to Fodia. Fodia. Oh, gee. Arnberger. It's an unfortunate one for Pakenham. Well done, Katie Cook. Repels the initial attack. It will stay with Warburton and Millgrove, but it was a certain goal coming up for Carly Woppett. Otherwise, Daniels. Jessie Hare and Bianca Daniels again has done that really cleverly and puts away yet another goal. 7 goals to 12. Back to a 5-goal difference for the Kookaburras. So Pakenham brought forward. Molino. Jones collects it nicely in the one hand. Melson on the court for the first time. That's a good feed from Jones. And beautifully done. Hayley Melson gets her first goal. And they pull one back, Pakenham. Back to 4 goals the difference. And again, Warby Millgrove brought forward. Got to make something of this. Fodia. Nice and long out to Warburton. Whose hand was it off? It was off Katie Cook, so it stays with Warburton and Millgrove. Daniels back to Hare. Contact called against Armberger, and that will do us for quarter time. In the Division 1 A-grade preliminary final here in the Outer East of Warburton and Millgrove, currently with a 4-goal margin at the first change. 12 goals to 8. We'll head off to a break now for quarter time. When we come back, we'll bring you all the action from the second quarter. And welcome back to Yarra Junction Memorial Reserve. It's second quarter action. It's Armberger with a centre pass, and we are underway. Warburton and Millgrove currently leading by 4 goals. So Hayley Melson starts on court. And this might be an early opportunity for Pakenham. Good defensive work done early days for Warby Millgrove. They're through Indy Pinnock. Arnberger to Cousins. Kelly Cousins. No, doesn't convert. But, oh no. Melson got the rebound, but she's turned it straight over, and Warby Millgrove are on the counter-attack. So Langdon comes out wide, finds Jessie Hare, does it beautifully to Fodia. Long driver, that's a bullet straight into the hands of Bianca Daniels. They're taking this game on Warburton and Millgrove, and it's working out for them so far. Fodia has to offload, and she does. Eventually finds McIntosh. Hare, Daniels, Fodia, and Bianca Daniels again. And Molino pulled up for contact. Bianca Daniels steps up to the plate to get it back to 5 goals the difference. Will not convert, and well done. Katie Cook picks it off. Pakenham on the counter-attack. So Millie Upperu's playing wing defence so far in this game. Arnberger gets it out wide, called for stepping. Can you believe that? There we go. So it's going to come back the other way here. So costly mistake from Mia Arnberger. Ball goes straight back to Warburton and Millgrove. Daniels eventually gets it under her control. Again, Eliza Molino pulled up for contact. Bianca Daniels doesn't convert. Katie Cook. No. Fodia stepped offside, so eventually Pakenham get out of danger. Utba over the top to Molino. Daniels got the hand in, couldn't keep it in play. So Pakenham just struggling a bit so far in this preliminary final. Melson to Jones. Arnberger. Cousins. Looked at Melson, came back to Jones. Here is Melson now to get it back to 3 goals the difference. Cousins. Did she keep it in? She did, but she's turned it over again. The Kookaburras on the counter-attack. Pinnock back to Hare. Much longer this time and into the hands of Fodia. Retreats to Langdon. Comes across to McIntosh. She's got it again, Taylor McIntosh. Just lets it drop for Hare. McIntosh for a third time in this passage. That's a bullet beautifully done to Carly Woppett. Back to Jessie Hare. Out wide to Daniels. Daniels back to Jessie Hare. Thought about Woppett. Goes short to Fodia. Fodia. So Bianca Daniels steps up to the plate. Hasn't quite had the accuracy in the second quarter, but she's found it now. Back to a 5-goal difference for Warburton and Millgrove. So a couple of changes here. Melson comes off. Charlotte Hoodlin comes on. And Eliza Molino comes off as well for Tasha Curry. As we have a ball change. So just a quick delay here at Yarra Junction Memorial Reserve. I think Molino might be coming off for the blood rule. So in the meantime, Jessie Hare with the centre pass. Indy Pinnock receives a bit of contact, and Warburton Millgrove maintain possession. Daniels waits and waits, offloads to Pinnock, and they've turned it over. Here's an opportunity for the Lions to counter-attack. So Cook to Utba. Utba goes back to Katie Cook. Looks up ahead, but goes short to Utba. Utba back to Cook. So they've really boxed him in of Warburton and Millgrove. Eventually they find a way through, though. Jones over the top to Arnberger. Short to Hoodlin. Looks at Cousins. Gets it to her eventually. Good feed. And Kelly Cousins gets one back for the Lions. Back to 4 goals the difference, 9 goals to 13. And Mia Armberger's got the centre pass. So they can make a back-to-back goals here. The Lions, McIntosh got a hand in but gave away contact. So Miliutba could go short, goes out wide, finds Jones. Cousins. And Kelly Cousins for back-to-back goals for Pakenham. And she's got it. So back to a 3-goal difference. So Pakenham with a bit of momentum now in the preliminary final. Can they find another one? Hare to Daniels. Back to Fodia. Woppert, Fodia. Out wide to Jessie Hare. Good feed. Carly Woppert will have a look. And Carly Woppert will not convert, but no. So well done, Katie Cook. Steadfast in defence and can get Pakenham moving. Utbar wanted to go long, but she holds off for the moment. Goes short to Katie Cook. It comes back to Millie Utbar. This time she does go long. Has she got over the third? She has. Oh, no. So the long drive does not pay off for Pakenham. Warby Millgrove with a bit of a gift. McIntosh comes back to Jessie Hare. Looks up ahead, goes short to McIntosh. Boxed in, but eventually she offloads to Fodia. Back to McIntosh. Wants to go underground and contact called against Hoodlin. So it's brought forward to Bianca Daniels. This to get the margin back out to 4 goals. The difference, and Bianca Daniels converts. 10 goals to 14 the way of Warburton and Millgrove in the Division 1A grade preliminary final. Hoodlin over the top and goes back to Arnberger. Cousins presented nicely. Laterally, McIntosh! No. Bit of an almost moment for Taylor McIntosh and more importantly for Pakenham, Eliza Molina back on the court. Kelly Cousins. Oh, Pinnock just wasn't awake to the rebound. Kelly Cousins with a mulligan. Langdon got a hand in, but Hoodlin collected it cleanly. And eventually Pakenham get that responding goal and get it back to 3 goals the difference, 11 goals to 14. So Pakenham breaking early. Brought forward. Knocked away by Amber Holt. Pinnock will eventually track this one back. She can go laterally to McIntosh with plenty of room to work with, and that's what she does. So Evie Drake comes onto the court. Holt nearly picked it off. Here is Woppert. Daniels being double-teamed. Fodia, cleverly done around the baseline. Into the hands of Bianca Daniels. And that is very, very well done. Carly Woppert eventually gets the margin back out to 4 goals the difference. Smart play from Warburton and Millgrove. And they maintain the margin now. Who's handles that off? It's going to go Warburton and Millgrove's way. No, the umpire pointed the wrong way. It is going to go Pakenham's way. Molino to Holt. Molino this time does it well to Drake. She goes laterally to Utbar, who's moved into centre, so swinging the changes are Pakenham. Kelly Cousins does not convert, and Indy Pinnock right there to cut it off and nearly turn it over, but she gets the ball back. McIntosh. Daniels up the court, goes back to McIntosh. She'll go laterally, Indy Pinnock. Oh, no. McIntosh just put a bit too much pepper on it, and the ball trickles out of play, and a reprieve for Pakenham. Eliza Molino. Short to Holt. Does it well. Hoodlin. Thought about Drake. Eventually that's where she goes. McIntosh. This time Taylor McIntosh. Couple of almost moments, but she's pulled it off and hasn't given away contact. So Warby Millgrove are on the counter-attack. Fodia. Short. Finds Daniels. Pinnock goes across. McIntosh looks up ahead. Finds Fodia. Woppert to Pinnock. Was there a bit of contact there from Utbar umpire? Happy to let play flow on. And Carly Woppert gets one out the back. This to get it back to 5 goals a difference, and Carly Woppert makes no mistake, 16 goals to 11. And Jessie Hare's got the centre pass. And again, Pakenham has broken a bit too early. Jessie Hare. Fodia. Woppert got plenty of room to work with. It comes short to Bianca Daniels. And eventually it drops. 6 goals the difference now for Warburton and Millgrove. And Pakenham in a spot of bother. And that's got too much on it. And Taylor McIntosh just escorts it over the line. And Warburton Millgrove again force a turnover.
Get out, create some space.
So just look a bit panicked at the moment to Pakenham. The head of the day quite literally getting to them. McIntosh to Pinnock. Fodia looks up ahead, finds Wappet. Back into the hands of Taylor McIntosh. Back to Selena Fodia, short to Daniels. Across to Hare, and here's an opportunity for Pakenham, and they need to make something of this. So Jesse Hare comes off for a well-earned rest. Morgan White comes on. Cook, Molino.
Good luck, B.
So Eliza Molino, short. Holtz. Oh, McIntosh, how about that? Another brilliant interception. Again, the Kookaburras are on the counter-attack. Fodia comes back to Pinnock. Back to Taylor McIntosh, who started the passage. She's got it for a third time now. Wyatt, unsure, offloads to Pinnock, and then it comes back to Wyatt. She'll go laterally, McIntosh for a fourth time. Fake to Fodia, then does go to Daniels.
Good hold. Good job.
Fodia looks up ahead to the goal circle. Whopper gets front position on Cook. Decides against the shot at goal. And a reprieve for Pakenham in defence. So scoring's just been held off for the moment these last couple of minutes. Daniel's got a...
You're allowed to hit the ball.
Bianca Daniels has quite literally hit that one for 6. Ball's gone out of the stadium, but anyway, we are back underway. Umpire not too pleased with that one, and probably fair. And how about that from Ali Langdon? Front spot on Kelly Cousins and picks it off. And the Warby defence letting nothing through. Pinnock through the hands of Hoodlum, but eventually it falls for Fodia. She'll go back to Langdon, short to Pinnock. Morgan White with plenty of room to work with. Offloads to Indy Pinnock. Fodia out wide and does it nicely. Daniels back to Indy Pinnock. Selena Fodia goes much longer this time to Daniels. She'll just go short to Wyatt. Bianca Daniels, no. So again, Pakenham with an opportunity. They need to get this next goal. Utba back to Cook. Finds Molino. Molino looks up ahead. Oh, there's a miscommunication, but Amber Holt eventually got it under her control. Squares it up and finds Millie Utba. She'll go short. Melson gets it under her control. Cousins. Back to Melson. Back to Kelly Cousins. And good feed. And Charlotte Hoodlin for a steadier for Pakenham, and they needed that one desperately, and they've got it. 12 goals to 17. And the first goal for a couple of minutes. And again, Pakenham pulled up for breaking too early. So now it's going to come back the other way. Pakenham can counter-attack. Utba, laterally. Good strong hands from Melson. She goes short to Molino. Right on her measure at the transverse line. Melson. Taken too long. There we go. It's going to come back the other way for Warburton Millgrove. Pinnock. Laterally to Langdon. Gets it across to Wyatt, who had plenty of room to work with. Langdon. Is it going to be kept in play? It is, but it's turned over anyway. Hoodlin across to Molino. Much longer to Utba. It's going to stay with Pakenham. So it's just got a bit messy these last couple of minutes. The heat of this preliminary final really getting to both sides, it feels like. And now Pakenham have turned it over. So Ali Langdon looks up ahead, finds Pinnock. She goes back to Langdon. Back to Indy Pinnock. It flies over the head and nearly went over the third, but Eliza Molino collected it anyway. So Pakenham are on the counter-attack. Another turnover, is it? No. Just a comedy of errors at the moment. Utba. Cousins. Looks around. White tries to pick it off, but Millie Utba holds strong. Kelly Cousins for back-to-back goals for Pakenham. Puts it away. Back to 4 goals the difference. Millie Utba's got the centre pass, and this might be a chance to cut it back down to 3 goals. After trailing by 6. Hoodlin. Back to Utba. Utba, long drive. Cousins. Nice take. Comes back to Melson. Melson, Cousins. And Ali Langdon, how about that off the rebound? Been so crucial in today's game. So Warburton Millgrove on the counter-attack. Fodia back to Langdon. Now to Pinnock. Wyatt, but they've boxed him in. Pakenham have done it pretty well. Bianca Daniels, though, clutch. Molino got the hand in. Pinnock gets a hand in, so now it's going to come back the other way. Long drive. Falls for Daniels. Comes back inboard and finds McIntosh. Fodia, long drive, beautifully done to Morgan. Wyatt fakes. Contact called against Amber Holt. So Wyatt comes across to Woppett. So now Katie Cook pulled up for contact. Woppett back to Fodia. And now Carly Woppett finds a spot she much prefers and gets it back to 5 goals the difference. So Warby Millgrove still with plenty of control in this preliminary final. Morgan Wyatt across to Daniels. Back to McIntosh. McIntosh does it well. So Amanda Finn on the court for the first time today. In place of Indy Pinnock, Carly Woppett can get it back to 6 goals the difference.
Keep going, B.
Has offloaded for the time being to Bianca Daniels, and Bianca Daniels shoots truly. Back to 6 goals the difference for Warburton Millgrove as we near half-time. Cousins got it from Melson, looks around, comes back to Utba. Daniels stepped offside. Kelly Cousins, Millie Utba, that's a good feed, and Cousins doesn't have a look at goal, but finds Charlotte Hoodlin in a much better spot, and she gets one back for Pakenham. So back to 5 goals the difference, 14 goals to 19. But Warby just seemed to have the answers for the moment, and there is half-time. The half-time siren approaches. It is 14 to 19 the way of Warburton Millgrove. They have a 5-goal margin at the main change. We'll head off to a break now for half-time. When we come back, we'll bring you all the action from the second half. And welcome back to Yarra Junction Memorial Reserve for the all-important second half in the Division 1A grade preliminary final between Warburton Millgrove and Pakenham. And if you are just tuning in, the Kookaburras currently hold a 5-goal break. 19 goals to 14 is the score. They've definitely been the better side in the contest so far, but this Pakenham side will not give up without a fight. They're going to play it right till the very end. They'll push this Warburton Millgrove side for sure. So it's Millie Utba with the centre pass. It's Warburton Millgrove by 5 goals. And second half action is underway here at Yarra Junction. So Millie Utba out to Emma Jones. Jones gets them moving to Cousins. Eliza Molino in the goal circle. And an early turnover. So it comes out wide. Jessie Hare offloads. McIntosh. Butcher. McIntosh. Jessie Hare with a clever one-handed collect. Comes into the hands of Woppett. Back to Langdon. Langdon cuts open the middle. Finds Bianca Daniels. Comes out wide to Hare. She feeds to Woppett. This for a 6-goal margin, and it drops. Now Warby Millgrove get the first of the second half. Jessie Hare's got the centre pass. Not the start that Pakenham would have wanted. Just the start for Warburton Millgrove, though. Butcher on the court for the first time through the hands of Holt, but it stays with the Kookaburras. Nicely done to Hare. Good feed. Bianca Daniels not having a look at goal. Gets it across to Butcher. Good feed. Carly Woppett gets it under her control. This to make it 7 goals the difference. And that is the biggest lead now of the game. 21 goals to 14, and Pakenham need to get motoring. Utba. Jones. Comes back to Holt. Back to Jones. Laterally to Amber Holt. Into the hands of Molino, who's playing in goals. Utba, well done to Kelly Cousins. Needs to find the responding goal for Pakenham. And Kelly Cousins gets one back for the Pakenham Lions. 21 goals to 15. So Jessie Hare, Warby, they've had the answer so far today. Can they keep the trend? Pinnock retreats. Sorry, it was Langdon who retreated to Pinnock. Langdon, a bit unsure, but eventually finds Hare, who provided a good option. She'll go back to Langdon. Looks up ahead. Retreats to McIntosh. McIntosh offloads to Langdon. Molino pulled up for contact. Langdon just pops it over the top nicely for Daniels. Butcher, good feed. Bianca Daniels. Gets it back to a 7-goal break. 22 goals to 15. Still the way of Warburton Millgrove. Still got control in this preliminary final. Utba, long drive, beautifully done from Jones. Utba and Cousins all involved. Contact called against Pinnock. Nicely done. Kelly Cousins. Been a dead eye all day. Puts that one away. Keeps Pakenham in touch. But still a lot of work needs to be done. Hare, Woppert, waste no time. Finds Butcher. Short to Daniels. Offloads to Jessie Hare. Who can she feed it to eventually? It drops for Carly Woppert. Cleverly done. Wasted no time getting that ball to Bianca Daniels. And she wastes no time getting the margin back out to 7 goals. 23 goals to 16. High up and under ball. Falls for Molino. Jones. Cousins. Kelly Cousins. Here is Eliza Molino with her first look at goal for the day. Can the defender get one? Whose hand was it off? It will stay with Pakenham. Molino wants it round the back of the post. Cousins won't do that. Could have a look at goal herself. Kelly Cousins. No troubles at all. Gets one back for Pakenham. 23 goals to 17. Jessie Hare just offloads it to Woppert. She goes back to Hare. Finds Daniels. Carly Woppert, good work rate. Found a pocket of space to work with. Here is Tegan Butcher. Katie Cook, brilliant. And Pakenham are on the counter-attack. Woppert did it well. Molino, Cook. Laterally to Amber Holt. Long drive. Beautifully done to Jones. Jones looks up ahead. Pinnock cuts it off. And Warburton Millgrove. No. Just gave away contact. And Molino. Langdon loses her footing. And Kelly Cousins provides a goal. Gets it back to 5 goals of difference. Suddenly Pakenham just finding a bit of momentum. Can they get the next one? Utba. Molino. Long drive. Hare couldn't cut it off. Utba gets it under her control. Molino offloads. McIntosh. No. Yeah, no. She has pulled it off. I thought contact had been called. So Warburton Millgrove on the counter-attack. Woppert back to McIntosh. Finds, that was Hare. Over the top to Daniels. Daniels looks around. Off to Carly Woppert. She gets it back to McIntosh. Hare again is involved. Over the top to Butcher. Butcher will go short to Woppert. And Carly Woppert steps up to the plate and gets one back for Warburton Millgrove. Back to 6 goals the difference. And the Kookaburras just finding all the answers. Butcher fires a bullet to Daniels. She'll go back to Butcher, but she's called for stepping. Pakenham with a reprieve in defence. Can they get things moving? Holt, Cook, long drive. Drake, Jones, Molino. Over the top, good one. And Eliza Molino with an opportunity to get it back to 5 goals the difference. Misses. Did Finn keep it in? No. Cousins, there we go. They get one back, the Pakenham Lions. Back to 5 goals the difference. Miliupa has the centre pass. Over the top to Molino. Molino, Jones. Eventually tracks the ball back and keeps it in play, more importantly. Finn pulled up for contact. And Kelly Cousins, just like that, gets it back to 4 goals the difference. Pakenham not going away. Finn. Pinnock, Hare, Daniels, all the way back to McIntosh. McIntosh offloads, finds Daniels. The Pakenham defence really getting into their groove now, not making this easy for Warburton Millgrove. Finn. Beautifully done to Carly Woppert. And Warby Millgrove get one against the flow of play. 25 goals to 20.
Gotta come out.
Utba. So Langdon's back on the court. Her and Indy Pinnock have swapped. Cousins gets it back to 4 goals the difference. Never looked like missing. So Utba comes off. Jones will come on as centre. So Pakenham really throwing the magnets around. Jessie Hare with a one-handed feed. Straight into the hands of Bianca Daniels. And she puts it straight through the goals. Back to 5 goals the difference. 26 goals to 21. Molino. And they've turned it over. And Molino not happy about it at all. Costly mistake. Molino got a hand in but couldn't cut it off. Pinnock waits, eventually offloads. Cook got a hand in, Pakenham on the counter-attack. Molino back to Cook, Cook back to Molino, into the hands of Jones. Cousins gets it under her control. Cousins eventually finds a spot she likes. Can she get it back to 4 goals the difference? You bet she can. 26 goals to 22. And this preliminary final's got everything. Finn. Jesse Hare. Woppett back to Pinnock. Finn. Through hands and it finds Woppett. It'll come back to Finn. Finn, Pinnock. A bit of contact from the Pakenham attackers. Indy Pinnock. Finn's got plenty of room to work with. So Amanda Finn finds Woppett. Woppett all the way across to Hare. Gets it back to Carly Woppett. 1-on-1 contest. Amanda Finn wins it. Woppett's got space out the back. And Carly Woppett gets it back to 5 goals the difference. Took an eternity to get to her, but she held strong, and more importantly for Warburton Millgrove, converted the goal. So Armberger now on his wing attack. Molino still in goals. The ball's knocked away, and Warby Millgrove keep it alive, and they're on the counter-attack. Langdon through the middle of the court. They go. Cook! Jones, can she keep it in? Eventually Pakenham regain control. Katie Cook offloads to Molino. Molino goes laterally and finds Jones. Jones to Molino. Long drive, but she's put way too much on it. Costly turnover for Pakenham. Warburton Millgrove get out of jail. Langdon.
Give yourself some space.
Just lots of crucial mistakes being made by Pakenham at the moment. Pinnock can go back to Langdon. That's what she does. Hare. So Hare comes off. Fodia will come back on. Indy Pinnock short to Fodia, who's just come back onto the court. Laterally, Molino, brilliantly done. Gets Pakenham on the counter-attack. Jones, Pinnock got the hand in. She can't keep it in play.
Ellie at the top.
Arnberger to Cousins. Kelly Cousins. Oh, it eventually drops. Thought it was going to pop out, but Kelly Cousins gets the goal, gets it back to 4 goals the difference. And Pakenham feels like they're hanging on by a thread, but they are still alive in this game. Woppett offloads to Fodia. Back to Finn, who lost control of the ball. Amanda Finn, little underground feed's a good one for Daniels. Looked at Woppett, comes back to Finn. Finn, knocked away by Cook. Woppett keeps it in. Cleverly done. Finn was on the same page. Daniels lets it drop in front of her. And now Bianca Daniels gets it back to 5 goals the difference. 28 goals to 23. Jones. Arnberger over the top. Beautifully done to Molino. Knocked away by Pinnock, but she's given away contact. Cousins will just line them up, and Kelly Cousins. With a second look. And this time she makes no mistake. Back to 4 goals the difference. 28 goals to 24. Fodia. Cook got the hand in, but it fell straight into the hands of Morgan Wyatt. Pinnock over the top to Fodia. Short to Finn. Looks up ahead. Fodia got up at the right time. Daniels had front spot. Now Carly Woppett. Eventually gets it to drop back to 5 goals the difference. With 3/4 time fast approaching. Jones. Molino. All the way back, Katie Cook eventually gets it under her control. That was so crucial. Nearly picked off by Woppett. Drake eventually held strong. Wyatt got a hand in, but Kelly Cousins. Oh, how about that? The long range shooting. Finn will go back to... Oh, they've turned it over. Pakenham are on the counter-attack. Drake to Cook. Warburton, how about that? Steadfast got the ball away just in time before she lost her footing. Amanda Finn. The Warburton Millgrove playing coach. Coming up clutch. Pinnock eventually gets it away, but she's turned it over. Pinnock got a handy, but she's given away contact to Molino. Cook, waste no time. It goes over the top into the hands of Arnberger. Cousins, bit unsure where to go. Jones with plenty of room to work with. Cousins just receiving a bit of contact. Cousins. Oh, Kelly Cousins, clutch. Ice in her veins, puts it away. Back to 3 goals the difference. And Pakenham are coming. And the crowd starts to find their voice in the preliminary final. Arnberger long and into the hands of Molino. Arnberger, Molino, back to Arnberger. Cousins. And Pakenham are on Warby Millgrove's heels. They are back within 2 goals. Warby need to find a steadier. Fodia across to Wyatt. They're boxing him in. Oh, Molino. No. Indy Pinnock, Fodia. Warburton lost control. Pakenham are on the counter-attack. They can cut it back to 1 goal the difference if they convert off the turnover. Molino lost her footing. Cook has Drake on her own if she wants her. Jones, Cousins. Kelly Cousins, not at all fazed by the occasion. Back to 1 goal the difference. And suddenly this preliminary final is on a knife edge. Fodia. How about that from Selena Fodia? A clutch moment when it was needed most for Warburton and Millgrove. They might just be able to regain a bit of ascendancy off this. Timed the jump perfectly. Bianca Daniels steps up to the plate. And Bianca Daniels does not convert. Warburton keeps it in. Carly Warburton finds a steadier for Warburton and Millgrove. She rights the ship. Back to 2 goals the difference. And Selena Fodia's got the centre pass. And Warburton and Millgrove needed that one desperately with all the momentum. Going to Pakenham. Oh, Cook. Oh, no. Was not to be for Katie Cook. Chaos in the preliminary final. Oh, I've forgotten how to speak, apparently. Cook this time, and Pakenham are on the counter-attack. Whose ball? Anyone's ball to be won. Pinnock keeps it alive for Warburton and Millgrove. Finds Fodia in the middle of the court. She offloads to Daniels. Daniels gets it back. Long drive. Finds Amanda Finn. It'll come back to Daniels. Finn and Daniels. Now it's another turnover. It's going to come back for Pakenham. Curry, really unsure where to go. Offloads to Jones. Daniels! Bianca Daniels, how about that? And she puts it away back to 3 goals. The difference for Warburton and Millgrove. Bianca Daniels, and there is a 3/4 time siren. And what a game we have in our hands here. 3 goals the difference the way the Kookaburras will head up to a break for 3/4 time. When we come back, we'll bring you all the action from what should be a thrilling final quarter. And welcome back to Yarra Junction Memorial Reserve for the all-important final quarter. Our Division 1A grade preliminary final between Warburton, Millgrove and Pakenham. If you are just tuning in, just 3 goals separates the sides. It's 31-28 the way of the Kookaburras. But it's fair to say the Pakenham Lions really fanned their feet in that 3rd quarter. They've been able to cut the margin down. They trail by as much as 7 goals, so they've got it back down to 3. The question is, can the Kookaburras hang on? Can the Lions pinch it? We'll know in about 15 minutes' time. It's Millie Utman with a centre pass. It's Warby Millgrove by 3 goals. And we're underway in the final quarter. Molino will stay in goals. Indy Pinnock, though, with an early interception. And Warburton and Millgrove straight away on the counter-attack. McIntosh to Fodia. Back to McIntosh. Offloads to Pinnock. She goes back to McIntosh. Fires a bullet to Fodia. Looks up ahead and finds Daniels. Daniels has got Warburton long if she wants her. And they turn it over, so Pakenham will now find themselves on the counter-attack.
Indy, come!
Curry. Utba. Curry to Cook. Does it well. Arnberger. Utba. Drake did it well. Cousins. Looks around, eventually offloads to Utba. She'll feed it back to Kelly Cousins, who's been so clutch in front of goal all day. And that's not going to change. Back to 2 goals the difference. So Pakenham get the first of the last quarter. Can they find the next one? Katie Cook. Yes. They'll force the turnover. They're on the counter-attack. Millie Utba looks up ahead for Cousins. Eventually finds her. Cousins won't have a look at goal. Cousins, Molino. Hasn't scored one just yet, but she finds her feet here. Back to 1 goal the difference. And Millie Utpa's got the centre pass. And it's tightening right up here at Yarra Junction. Utpa across to Arnberger. She retreats. Does it well to Drake. Molino. Short to Arnberger. Looks up ahead for Cousins, but pulls the pass to Molino. Arnberger again is involved. Molino back inboard. Finds Utpa. And Eliza Molino steps up to the plate to level the scores. Kelly Cousins scores a level in the preliminary final. Scores are level, 31 goals apiece. Daniels did well in the 1-on-1 against Cook. Fodia went back with the ball and maintains possession for the moment for Warburton. Millgrove, and Carly Wappett's going to get it out the back. And she does not convert. Cook keeps it in. Pakenham on the counter-attack. And if they can convert on this, they will lead for the first time today. Drake to Cook. Drake. Katie Cook. Utpa. Over the top here is Cousins. And Kelly Cousins puts Pakenham in front for the first time today. Our first lead change in the prelim final. And Millie Utpa has the centre pass. Warburton and Millgrove have led it all day, and now they find themselves in arrears. Utpa looks up ahead. Eventually offload. She's taken too long. Can you believe that? So a reprieve for Warburton and Millgrove in defence. Langdon. Pinnock. Langdon again. Much longer this time to McIntosh. McIntosh retreats to Langdon. Offloads to Pinnock. She finds McIntosh. Good long drive. Wappett provided a good option. Fodia. Short to Wappett. Jessie Hare. Cook. Giving away contact. Bianca Daniels needs to find her radar here. And she does. Scores a level again in the prelim final. 32 goals apiece. So Jessie Hare out of the centre. Fodia will go back to Hare. Contact against Utpa. She's turned it over. Pakenham are on the counter-attack again. Molino back to Cook. That has to be contact against Daniels. It is. Cook. Molino. Pinnock knocks it out of the hands of Utpa, but she's given away contact. Utpa over the top to Molino. Will go short to Cousins to get the lead back for Pakenham. Kelly Cousins misses, but it won't matter. She's got the rebound. And Kelly Cousins this time puts it away. Gets Pakenham back in front by that 1-goal margin. Millie Utpa. Molino over the top to Arnberger. She'll go short to Cousins. Kelly Cousins got it. 2 goals the difference now for the Pakenham Lions. 34 goals to 32. Jessie Hare over the top eventually finds Bianca Daniels. But Pakenham have really found their feet. The look away from McIntosh was good to Pinnock. Fodia, long drive. Wappett gets it under her control. Comes back to Pinnock. Fodia's the short option, sorry, that's where she goes. So Bianca Daniels to keep the Kookaburras in touch. She's got it back to 1 goal the difference. Utpa with a centre pass. And now Pakenham have turned it over. So Warby Millgrove on the centre pass. Sorry, on the counter-attack, in fact. McIntosh, Fodia, Daniels. And now Warby Millgrove have turned it over. Things heating up at the prelim final. Pressure getting to both sides. Cook. Over the top to Molino. Molino to Arnberger. Daniels got the hand in, but it's not enough. Katie Cook, beautifully done to Arnberger. Molino will line them up, and Eliza Molino. Cousins does not keep it in. So Warby with the ball on the last side of defence. Through Langdon. McIntosh goes back to Langdon. She finds Jessie Hare. She'll offload to McIntosh. She finds Fodia. Laterally to Pinnock. Fodia again involved. That's got to be contact, and it is. McIntosh will go short and find Jessie Hare. Through the hands of Arnberger, into the hands of Indy Pinnock, Langdon, McIntosh. Offloads to Hare. Hare wants to put him inside the attacking third, decides against that for the moment. Comes to Fodia. Fodia, Woppert did really well. Gets it back to Selena Fodia. Wanted to go underground. Bianca Daniels with a look. It's not going to make it, but she's going to get the rebound. Not with the third opportunity. Anyone's ball to be won, and eventually Pakenham force a turnover. Curry did it well. Long drive into the hands of Katie Cook. Looked at Arnberger. Eventually that's where she'll go. Gets it to Cousins. Cousins. And now Pakenham have turned it over. A lot of mistakes being made in this game. You just can feel the pressure both sides are under. Jessie Hare looks up ahead, but she'll retreat to Pinnock. She goes laterally to McIntosh, waits and eventually finds Fodia. Finds Jessie Hare, looked at Woppert, goes much longer. Has Cook stolen it? No, she hasn't. And she's pinned for contact. It'll come across. Fodia. Oh, Woppert did well. Accepts the feed, and suddenly the game has no leader again. 34 goals apiece in the preliminary final. Fodia. Woppert. Selena Fodia. Bianca Daniels to get Warburton Millgrove back in front. And she's got it. Second lead change of the prelim final. 35 goals to 34 the way of Warburton Millgrove. Pakenham neither response. Utba. Molino back to Utba. Long drive, good one to Cousins. Kelly Cousins retreats to Utba. She goes back to Cousins. Arnberger looks up ahead. Utba. And Eliza Molino, the defender, turns shooter. Gets one back for Pakenham again, scores a level. The game has no leader. Fodia, waste no time. Here is Woppert to Daniels. Good strong take. Bianca Daniels, got it. Warburton Millgrove back in front, 36 to 35 the way of the Kookaburras. But this game's still at a knife's edge. Utba with a centre pass for Pakenham. So now Warburton Millgrove are broken too early. Cook. Drake. Frantic stuff in the preliminary final. Arnberger will run onto this. She's got Cousins the short option. That's where she goes. Cousins decides against the shot at goal. McIntosh. Has she kept it in? She has. And Warburton Millgrove on the counter attack. Taylor McIntosh, brilliant. They'll go long. Woppert on the end of it. She comes back to McIntosh. Pakenham didn't play to the whistle. And Taylor McIntosh, so smart and so clutch, gets her side into the attacking end.
Stay up.
Bianca Daniels to make it a 2-goal break. Ice in her veins, puts it away. 37 goals to 35. And Warby just with a little mini advantage again. Jessie Hare with a centre pass. Waited for Jones to run through. Woppert lost control of it. But Drake pulled up for contact. It stays with Warburton Millgrove. Fodia, good feed. And Carly Woppert can get her side out to a 3-goal break, and she makes no mistake at all. 38 goals to 35, and Pakenham suddenly 3 goals in arrears. Cook to Molino. Arnberger, contact against McIntosh. And here is Kelly Cousins. Been brilliant all day. Kelly Cousins, that's not going to change. Gets one back for Pakenham, 38 goals to 36. Utba comes back on this time as wing attack. McIntosh over the top, beautifully done to Fodia. And Woppert finds some space out the back. Instant response for Warburton Millgrove, 39 goals to 36. Jones back into the centre. Jones over the top to Molino. Wants to go short to Cousins, in fact. And they've turned it over Pakenham. This could be crucial. Daniels looks up ahead. She goes short to McIntosh for the time being. Look away pass. Good one to Pinnock, but she's lost control of it. Now the Lions on the counter-attack. Langdon got front spot but couldn't win it. Utba. Cousins.
Go, Jess.
Jones. Kelly Cousins. Got it. Back to 2 goals of difference. Pakenham stay alive. Melson comes back on. Molina comes off and she's going to go back into defence, it looks like. Pinnock laterally to McIntosh. Look away's a good one to Hare. McIntosh back to Pinnock. Back to McIntosh. Long drive into the hands of Woppett. Woppett goes short and finds Hare. She'll go back to Woppett. Jones pulled up for contact. Jessie Hare, good feed. Carly Woppett steps up to the plate and converts. They get it back to 3 goals of difference. 40 goals to 37. Emma Jones knows she can't waste any time. Melson, though, through her hands. Warburton Millgrove on the counter-attack. McIntosh wanted to pull the trigger. Decided against it. Long one to Jones. Not Jones, sorry. Hare.
Take control.
McIntosh. Pakenham need to win this ball back. Jessie Hare holds off. Bianca Daniels to make it a 4-goal break for Warburton Millgrove. Not with the first, but with the second. 4 goals of difference, 41 goals to 37. And Warburton Millgrove with one hand on this grand final spot. There's still time for Pakenham, but they've got to get motoring quickly. McIntosh.
Steady with it. 2 minutes go. Let's go.
McIntosh back to Pinnock. Back into the hands of McIntosh. Long drive straight through the middle. Into the hands of Woppett. Fodia lets it fall. Bianca Daniels to make it 5 goals of difference. As cool as you like, Bianca Daniels. She's made for this kind of pressure. 37 goals to 42. Jones to Melson. Wants to go back to Jones, but it's cut off by Ali Langdon. She brings it back into the middle of the court. Offloads. McIntosh back to Langdon. And Warby can almost smell this grand final spot. Fodia laterally and finds Hare. She'll retreat back to McIntosh. Long drive, beautifully done to Woppett. It'll come back to Molino. She'll go short to Cook. Amber Holt back on the court to Jones. Jones retreats to Holt. They've got to take it on though, Pakenham. Here's an opportunity. Jones gets the ball under her control. She'll go short to Melson. Can she find Cousins? Hayley Melson gets one back for Pakenham. 38 goals to 42. Jessie Hare. Here we go. Daniels has broken too early. Pakenham on the counter-attack. Melson, she knows she's got to go. Cook waits. Short to Melson. Melson, Utba calls for it, won't get it. Melson, can she get it over the top to Cousins? Jones, short feed. Kelly Cousins, got to be quick. She is, but she misses. And Pinnock gets the rebound. Warburton Millgrove again on the counter-attack. It comes out wide to Hare. Long drive through the middle of the court. Finds McIntosh into Daniels. Fodia with plenty of room to work with. Woppett out the back to make it 5 goals the difference, and she's got it. And that might just about do it for Warburton Millgrove. There can't be long left to go, and that'll do it. And Warburton Millgrove through to the grand final. And they can potentially keep their premiership dynasty alive. They will shoot for 4 in a row next week. A brilliant performance in the preliminary final. 43 goals to 38, the final score. And after losing the previous 2 matchups, they come good when it mattered most. They will take on Seville next week in the grand final at Yarra Glen Showgrounds. And we'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to Game Faces coverage of the Division 1A Grade Preliminary Final here in the Outer East at Yarra Junction Memorial Reserve. Don't forget, at 2:20pm through local footy hub and through Yarra Valley FM 99.1, we will have the footy between Warburton Millgrove and Pakenham live at 2:20pm. So thank you for tuning in and goodbye for now.